Hello and welcome to another camp. Well, if I used the clips I've just filmed of me walking in, you would have noticed that I was full on waterproof gear. Got the Gore-Tex jacket, got my Solineck waterproof trousers, my rigger boots. It's been bloody awful the last few days. Real heavy rain. And just to sort of like cap it, tonight when camping, we've got forecast a thunderstorm and heavy rain around sort of midnight to 2 o'clock is the current prediction, but of course then things change. But either way, it's going to be probably a wet evening, night, and maybe even tomorrow morning packing up. So I think the first job before I put the tent up, which you won't have seen before, I'm going to make some sort of shelter for us to sit in the evening, and when we're doing packing that we can put kit under to keep dry. So yeah, put up a tarp shelter of some description first. Okay, that's day shelter complete. Should be high enough that we can get under here in our chairs. Mark's here with me, so I needed room for two. There should be enough width here, it's about 6 foot or so, that we can get one of the big tree stumps in the middle like a table for cooking on and stuff like that, chair either side. I've gone about sort of shoulder high, so 5 foot on me for the ridge line. I wanted about 5 foot so I could get vertical sides. It's worked this side, but where the ground's uneven and we're going uphill, that side ended up too slack, so I've had to fan it out a little bit to take up the slack. It should be vertical both sides, but I'm not worrying about that. The whole object is keeping the rain off. But this should be fine. I've got a point here going out on bungees to that tree, pegged out the back. Should be enough room. We'll see when it starts raining. Right, I'll try and film this a second time. In the neighbouring piece of woodland, there's people caning it about on dirt bikes, making a lot of noise, so try this again. Hill 0, this is the Scout 1. So a one-man tent. Now, I haven't been sent this, I haven't bought it. I've actually been lent it by Mark. So I feel I can be quite objective about it. I've got no vested interest, shall we say. So that'd be interesting to try that out. But I've got my plastic ground sheet to go under it. It's horrible, mucky and wet, and as I've been lent it, I don't want to have to give it back to him plastered in mud. So we can use that as a footprint under it to at least try and keep it clean. this short like spreader bar that goes across the top here pulls the top out really nice. Basically here is the same width as the floor, so I think there's going to be a lot more space in this, plus how steeply it drops at the ends. It's not like a normal dome, it goes very steeply down, so it will give you more room at head and foot end, I think. We'll find out in a bit. Well, that was a fairly straightforward procedure. Didn't look in any instructions or anything, but it was quite sort of obvious once you got stuff out of the pack. Very impressed so far, especially that extra pole across the top, like a short spreader bar, opening up the top. I think for a sort of a one man, out of the ones that I've used personally, this has probably got the most interior space. It looks a reasonable width. I won't know for certain until my sleep mat's in there, because that's always a good measure. But it's probably sleep mat and a half wide, shall we say. I don't think length's going to be an issue. The thing that impresses me so far the most is the fact that you've got a door and a porch on both sides. Quite often with a one-man tent you just get a single access. Now, as much as I don't need to be in and out both sides, having two porches means I can at night time stick my rucksack in the far one out the way, and then I can just have my like boots and cook set in my main door, the one that I'm going to use. So I'm not climbing over stuff, especially if you need a wee in the night. So yeah, I mean, for storage, there's almost as much porch space if you add them together as what there is sleeping space. So that's really, really helpful. It was light, the materials feel lovely. I say I don't really know that much about it. So the best thing, I think, is I'll just stick a link in the description to this exact model on the Hill Zero website, and then you can look it all up for yourself. I can't even tell you how much it weighs or how much they cost. I say I've only borrowed it, but yeah, I'm impressed so far. Right, that's given me a better idea of size. Now the sleep mat's in there, I put it one end, I've got probably 8-10 inches that end, easy. So yeah, sort of centralised. I've got a good this much head and foot space, which is nice because then you haven't got your feet or your head touching. That mat is about 6 feet long. It's plenty long enough for me at 6 foot tall. Also, that is the wide version, not the standard, and I've probably got almost a foot to the door here of bare floor, which is always nice. Also, I've noticed now, got my head inside, there's a pocket in each corner, which would be handy for head torches and emptying your pockets at night. Always, one thing I nearly always forget is to take my wallet out of my pocket, and I lay down, I think, oh, it's a hard lump, wallet. So yeah, good places to tuck that. Normally in most tents I end up taking my hat off, putting my hat in here, and I put all my loose bits in my hat so I can find them, you know, in the dark. But having the pockets, yep, handy. I like that. And there's a proper, you can't see it at that angle, but there's a proper hanging loop in the centre there. Now I've pumped up the mat with a flex tail pump, it's hanging up in the top there, and of course, because of the way the poles crisscross and all that sort of thing, there's a lot of support up there. So even though that is, you know, it's not a proper lamp, it's a pump really, it's quite heavy, sometimes it will make the tent sag, but in here, no problem at all. I'm quite impressed. Okay, that's me set up. Panning round. There's our day shelter, for it does come on nasty in the evening. And over the back there is Mark. He's got his French F1 out. Be a good rain test for that as well. But he has got the optional fly over the top. I don't think he'll have any issues at all with that. But yeah, so that's camp. Ready for a storm. Well, I've had a change of heart with the shelter, the day shelter. I've decided go big or go home. I thought I might as well make the most of it, so I've just opened it right up, elevated the back corner, elevated the side corners, got it up on a pole as well. Still got an angle on it, so it will still shed water okay. That'll do the job. And also, Mark's come in today on his fat tyre bike, so it'll be parking overnight for the fat tyre bike if it rains, which it probably will. But yep, I think that makes more sense. Right, the fire's lit. I've put dinner on because I'm actually quite hungry. It's only just gone 5, but I'm really munchy today. That's just a simple rationy job for me. Steak and dumplings. You're having proper steak, aren't you?
Yeah, I've got steak.
Oh,
yeah, with some of Steve's spices to go on there.
Should be nice. Should be nice.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know how well this will come across on film, but it's so still at the moment. There is not a breath of wind. That's often a bad sign. There was possible thunderstorms for tonight, midnight till 2. And looking at it, they might be right. Right, now we're all dinnered and the fire's resurrected because it's so damp it just didn't want to go, but we've found some dry bits and it's away now, so I think it's beer o'clock. You didn't bring any, did you?
No, because I forgot to buy beer when I bought my dinner for the camp. Oh, thank you, Alan.
Now that's what friendship is, you know.
Vintage pear.
I only brought 2 cans and I've given you half of my supply.
Thank you.
Bloody kids.
Love you.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Yeah, bought everything else for tonight, but yeah, forgot to get beer. I had Litland with me, she distracted me quite a lot.
You can't blame Litland for not buying beer.
Kept picking up comics and things like that. And you know, the sort of comics you need to remortgage your house for.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know,
they really take advantage, don't they?
And just skip my mind. But
and now it's snack time. It's chilled olives.
Oh, I don't know.
You know, just try one. There might be nothing like you expect.
I've had olives in the past, plain olives, and I did not like them.
Go for a green one. Go for the nearest one too, actually. It's got a little blob of chilli on it.
This one?
Yep. See what you think of that. Don't look at it, just eat it.
Bad memories from when I was younger.
Your taste changed though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually nice.
Yeah, we'll leave them on the table here, on a snack. Have it out the shelf.
I never thought I'd like olives again.
Mm.
Hated them when I tried them when I was a lot younger.
Well, not only do taste change, but when they're with something, it makes all the difference.
I did have them on their own.
Yeah, well, I really like the ones stuffed with little slices of garlic. The garlic olives are lovely.
No,
But they're pleasant
nice.
as well.
Very nice.
Right, that's enough of us talking old cobblers. See you in a bit. Yep.
25 to 8, still no sign of that rain.
I'm looking at it.
Black one.
Well, in amongst these olives, it's also some nice little chilies. Not too spiky, enough to make your tongue tingle, but yeah, nice. Right, last drink of the evening. Marky's made some hot chocolate.
Oh, I love hot chocolate.
Cheers, fella.
Oh, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's pissing hot still.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be called hot chocolate if it was cold.
No, the thing is, that's burn your lips off chocolate at the moment. I'll give it a couple of minutes. Right, time for bed. It is, hang on, about 11:15. I don't know whether the camera can pick it up or not, but just over the valley over there, probably 100 metres away, if that, there's a group of teenagers, I guess. They turned up about 9:30. They've just lit a fire, they've just started music. And like many youngsters nowadays, I don't know why, they seem to don't have the ability to talk to each other. They have to shout at each other, even though they're like 4 or 5 feet apart. So, it might turn into a noisy night if they're planning a party. I say they've only turned up late. But, yeah, who knows. I'm going to try and get my head down. Good morning. What a lovely sleep that was. That was one of them nights where I was just the right temperature. Perfect sleeping bag choice. Oh, lovely. I slept well. I woke up when we had a bit of thunder and lightning and whatever about, I think about 12:30ish. Between 12:30 and 1, something like that. And rain. But yeah, apart from that, I slept well. Not bad at all. Now I've just got to motivate myself enough to get up. well, I've come just out of camp for this bit. Put the kettle on, but Mark's still asleep. And I don't know if you can see from there, his F2 tent is sort of just behind where the day shelter is. So I didn't want to wake him up. But it's actually not a bad morning. Weather forecast was for rain this morning, but it's okay at the moment. Very cloudy. Might get rain, but it's a better start than I expected. If only we can pack up in the dry, that'd be lovely. Well, while I'm waiting for the kettle, I thought I'd just show you this. I'm so impressed with the design of this tent. It's like the TARDIS. It really is. You know, it's a small one-man tent, so you would think. From the outside, it doesn't really look very big. Yet I'm up sort of one end of the tent at the moment, and my head's sort of like just touching the mesh. If I, sit towards the middle, I've got loads of room to sit up. I'll try and film sort of like the inside, but it's very difficult, as I'm sure you're aware, to do things like that. But let me show you. Right, well, I've rolled the mesh doors back because the camera sort of shines off them. So yeah, this is the inside. Obviously looking up towards where my head was. There's my feet, because I'm sitting in one end. If I show you to the side, there's my boots outside. From sort of like here out to there, it's at least a couple of foot. Loads of room in the porch, and of course there's the same this side. My Bergam spent the night in that porch, and I tried it out just now. If I sit in the middle, it's almost like a full arm stretch for me from one door to the other. So it's like 5.5, 6 foot across. It's yeah, what an interesting design. So how do you get that much interior space in a space that small? I don't know. Bloody clever though. That's got to be the most impressive bit of kit that I've used this year, I think. Thanks to Mark for the opportunity. It's yeah, very good. Right, it's everything packed, all tidy there. No real sign of been, apart from a bit of flattened vegetation. It's all squashed into there. Well, we just packed up just in time. The rain has started, so that was very good timing to get stuff packed away before it was completely soaked. So, end the video here. Get out of here before it gets too wet. Cheers, Marky.
All right.
See you on the next one.
I've got a soggy seat.
Yeah, it has been said before.